So who doesn't want to hit the ball further with the driver? I know I do, and I'm sure you do as well. In this video, we're going to show you 2 things that you can do in your backswing, which will give you more club head speed and therefore more distance. So you've joined me in Spain, and I am on this unbelievably good golf course called Finca Cortizin. It is ranked in the top 5 golf courses in Spain, and you can see from the hole behind me just why that's the case. This is the 13th hole, probably the signature hole, fantastic looking golf hole. I'm going to hit driver, and I want to try and get as close to this green as I can. So there's a couple of things that I need to do in my golf swing which are going to help me generate a little bit more speed and therefore a little bit more distance. Now the good news is, the 2 things that we're going to cover, you probably already do these. They will be present in your backswing, we just would like more of them. More of them is going to create more leverage, it's going to cause the golf club to travel further, and those things are going to help you generate some more speed. So what are those 2 things? Well, those 2 things are turn and extension. And like I said, they tend to be present in most people's golf swings. We would just like to increase them. So the one which is probably the most obvious there is turn. We'd like to create more turn. So how do we do that? Well, really, it's turning the shoulders that we're after. We would like to turn the shoulders at least 90 degrees. I like to see golfers get towards 100, 110 if they're really trying to maximize power with the driver. The problem is most golfers, unfortunately, don't set themselves up well enough to create that turn. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to have both feet flared out by some amount. I reckon mine are probably some 10 or 15 degrees there. So both my toes are flared out. An easy way to think about that would be if you were standing in a clock face, my lead foot would be to 11, my trail foot would be to 1 o'clock. What I'd like you to then do in your backswing is make sure that you're allowing your hips to freely turn. I do not want any restrictions in those hips at all. If you start to restrict the hip turn, you will restrict the shoulder turn. So most of the golfers that I see who don't rotate enough through the upper body, it's because their hips aren't rotating or they're not rotating free enough. So once you've got your feet in this position, the flared feet is going to help or free up the hip turn. We just need to make sure that those hips are allowed to turn and you're making that huge rotation with your shoulders. You will also notice, and this happens, we see this in the best golfers in the world, if we're going to rotate the shoulders by a good amount, the head will also have to rotate by a good amount. So you may well feel at the top of your golf swing that you're looking at the ball through your lead eye. This is absolutely fine. This is actually a good indicator that you're rotating fully through your upper body and through your upper spine. So we've got some more rotation. There's our first thing. The second thing we need is some more extension. So what is extension? Well, it's all to do with imagining where your buttons on your shirt point. So if I'm going to use my driver as an example, if I stood up this way, my buttons point out horizontally away from me. At setup, they will point more down towards the ground. We call this forward bend. Now, as I rotate back, I do not want to maintain my forward bend. You can see how my buttons still point down towards the ground. This, unfortunately, is quite common. Extension would be the opposite. So if this is forward bend, this would be extension. So you can see my buttons point up towards the sky. So as I make my rotation to my backswing, I want you to watch what happens to this driver club shaft. As I rotate, the driver points up towards the sky because I'm adding extension. Extension is what's going to cause your arms to travel further. Watch the difference in the distance that my hands travel. This is me staying in forward bend. This is me moving towards extension. It allows me to get a much greater range of motion through my arms. And we know that one of the big factors when creating speed is time. The more time we can give ourselves, the more distance we can get those arms to travel, the greater the chance of me hitting this ball further and getting it closer to that green. So more rotation and more extension are the things that we need in order to hit the ball further. I would have you try and simplify that. Free up the hips, buttons point up to the sky. Those are your 2 simple takeaways from this. It's great to have the in-depth knowledge, but we want to simplify it when we're on the golf course. Right, let's see how close we can get to this green. How far is it? Ooh, it's a good 370 yards. So I don't think I'll be getting it on the putting surface, but if I can get it close, I'll be happy. It gives me a better chance of making a birdie. Right, big turn, lots of extension. And that's up the left. And that might not be too bad. Definitely not making the green, but hopefully I'll get pretty close and that'll give me an up and down and I can make a birdie. More rotation, more extension, that's going to help you generate more club head speed and that in turn is going to help you hit the ball further. You're going to have shorter irons into the greens, you're going to have shorter putts, you're going to make more birdies, you're going to drive it past your friends. It's all going to be good things happening when you can add rotation and extension to your driver swing. Thanks for watching. I have to say massive thanks to Finca Courtesin. This course is absolutely stunning, as I'm sure you'll agree. If you're in the area and you're looking to play one of the best golf courses in Spain, definitely check this venue out. The service here is unbelievably good. The experience from start to finish, second to none. Thank you for watching. Usual stuff is down below. Comments box, like button, and that clickable link over there to be a subscriber. Would love to have you part of my channel and help you play some better golf. Thanks for watching.